Medic!
Medic Up Podcast, new episode. Today I got Phil Sharpe from Fuel the Machine Apparel.com sitting down with me, and we're going to talk about how he went from, well, he's still full-time paramedic, part-time businessman, super fit guy. We'll talk about his EMS career. We're going to talk about the t-shirt company and just in general fitness for first responders. And I'm super lucky to have him walk in, sit down, and talk to us today. So, man, thank you for coming.
I appreciate it.
All right, so why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? I mean, like I just said, full-time paramedic, part-time businessman. How did you get, tell us about getting into EMS and then kind of progressing up to t-shirt company guy while you're a paramedic?
Well, it's kind of a long story. I actually got the bug for EMS back in high school. They offered a first responder class. I took it, and man, I just decided just want to keep going on with it. So graduated high school and enrolled in paramedic school. Went through all that, kind of struggled with it. Got the award for the most turned around student because honestly, I just didn't know shit. But EMS career, it boomed. Tried to leave several times, but it's like that. It's like that girlfriend that just keeps coming back around, man. You're there and you still keep hanging around. But I've adjunct a little bit at the local college. Actually, the one I actually graduated from here, Greenville Tech. Spent a small amount of time on the SWAT team. Had a pretty good time with that. Spent several years at a local agency that's pretty large, but we didn't see quite eye to eye. So now the current company I'm at is pretty jam up. I love being there. So the biggest thing is I love being a paramedic. It's always different. But during that process, I fell in love with fitness as well. Started working out when I first started EMS. I was pretty out of shape. I was 270 pounds when I graduated school because, we eat out. You spend a lot of time in the driver's seat, going Burger King, McDonald's, all those fucking fast food places. But then back started hurting. We actually had to lift stretchers back then. Patients are half the size they are now. But, so I got the bug. Actually, it was actually my dad that got me into it because I was pudgy. And he was close to retirement age, already benching 315 pounds. I figure it's like, man, the old man's going to take me down one day, so I'm gonna have to get up there. So I got the bug and just kept going on with it. Got more serious over the last few years. Found a good diet plan. It works. And then it kind of went into clothes. My parents owned an embroidery business when I was going through paramedic school. Always seen screen printing. It seemed pretty cool. And so the last couple of years, a guy was selling his business, so I decided to buy it for a stupid cheap price. I was like, hey, what the hell? there's not really much invested here, so I don't really have much to lose. So we just started making shirts that don't suck, because really, when you go shopping, man, how often is it that you try to find something good, man, it just sucks. So when we kept on going, we kind of ran out of content. It's kind of hard to post your same picture every single day. You kind of look like a douche taking selfies everywhere you go. But it just progressed. You just keep on reading a lot of influencers out there. There's a main one I listen to a lot, Real Business Owners. The guys are jam up. They offer free content, how to grow your business, just jam up dudes. And so I just started implementing a lot of things, reading from them and others. There's a lot of motivation in life. There's a lot of people that just need a kick in the ass. So I figured, let's just start doing some motivational content as well. Just kind of build it up there, because it's what I believe in, and you kind of give pep talks to other people that are down. They're actually sincere pep talks that you're like, hey man, it's time to kick your ass in gear. That's why a lot of the posts now that you see, I end it with, wake up that inner warrior, because that's where we pretty much always have. We have that inner warrior. We just got to kick in the ass and wake it up, get shit done. And so we just kind of kept on going with it, and it's progressing to where it is now. It's gaining traction, new followers every day. So we're pretty pleased with it so far. Everything with the business, if it wasn't for Google and YouTube, we probably wouldn't be where we are now, because we figured out graphic arts and everything without even taking classes.
Right, which that's none of your background is healthcare. You walked out of high school, zero to hero, through EMT intermediate, paramedic, and then worked on a truck. When did you move to your current?
I started my current service in 2017.
All right, so you were at the other place for over 10 years easily.
Yeah.
Right. And again, not studying graphic arts, going to school on part-time, saying, this is something I'm working toward. And I think you downplay it a little bit on your Instagram. There's a picture of a moving truck, like a box truck.
Yeah.
And I think I asked you, I was like, what's up with the box truck? You're like, I had to rent that to go pick up all the T-shirt stuff. I'm like, what do you mean? I just kind of saw on that. Was it like Craigslist?
Yeah.
Some guy selling the company and was like, hey, I got this stuff's got to go. You offered him a price, and he's like, come get it. And you're like,
yeah, we were sitting down one day. I was like, we have to invest in something. There's something got to be out here that we can just keep doing what we're doing, but have a good time on the side as well. So we talked about doing our own shirts for a long time, and came across this Facebook ad. This guy was selling everything for stupid cheap. So, I basically, the guy said, be here the next day with a truck, and I'll make it worth your while. And by God, he did. I loaded a whole entire truck for not even going to say how much it was, because I'm not. I think I make my own self blush.
Well, everybody else will think it's that easy, man. It wasn't because you wanted out of EMS, right?
No, I love EMS. Like I said, I try to leave several times, just like we all do. You're like, you get fed up with the BS, and then you take a step away from it, then you're like, man, it wasn't really that much BS, because it still keeps pulling you back. It's just that adrenaline rush. It is. You have your corner office with all the windows in it. It's you just can't leave. Like, once you actually experience it and it's your calling, it's just hard to leave. I just wanted something that I wanted to make it more comfortable.
Now, when you say we were sitting around, it was you and your wife, right?
Yeah.
And she's in healthcare.
She
has no graphic designs experience at all. No business classes, no nothing. And it was like, hey, let's just let's go do this. What's the worst that could happen?
Exactly.
Right.
I picked up a few business books, investing books, because, it's the society that we live in right now. They teach you to go to school, get a job, retire, and die. But why? What we said is like, fuck the norm, because why not be comfortable? Why not be able to make a lot of money? Who doesn't want to make a lot of money? But at the same time, you take the selfish portion out of that. If you make a lot of money, you could return the money to society. You can actually help people out in need, and that's our goal. Is we want to make a fuck ton of money, but also at the same time, we'd like to make different organizations and things like that in the future, just to help give back to, especially the biggest thing is the other military and first responders, because that's pretty much people that we just kind of gravitate to.
That's our people. That is our people,
that's
right?
Our people.
And then so you learned screen printing. How long did it take to kind of get the first thing that you'd be like, people pay money for this? I think,
bro, that was
the ink's not all blobbed up.
the very first one, because we we kind of went several different ways to start with. The very first one was a silhouette of a turbo, major motorhead, man. You know, ins and outs, especially diesels. I just, you know, if you know me, you know I have fuel going through my veins. So so it's the worst design ever, but it's a silhouette of a turbo, and it says whistleblowers.
Right.
And it actually is sold with the area teenagers.
Awesome.
But that one never made it to online though. But it took quite a while. I found an online program. It was several different videos. So in between calls on days off, I was sitting in front of that computer watching videos, man, just kind of like do one, see one, teach one. And yeah, it took a little while, but I think it took a good 6 months just to gravitate through the program, figuring out how to coat screens and make the screens. But I wouldn't have it any other way, though.
Right.
The biggest thing is if you're not teaching yourself, it's it's kind of hard just to sit in a class and not have hands-on.
Right. It's super stagnant, and you lose interest quickly if
Yeah.
you're not doing it. You know, when you said the whistleblower thing, it reminded me because I remember what you did prior to the T-shirts, and I don't think a lot of people do. And you correct me if I'm wrong. I remember a couple Instagram posts, maybe a couple Facebook posts, where you had made a gorgeous bench out of the tailgate of pickup trucks or something like that. It was all like vehicle type related, old school, like, 40s and 50s type stuff. I remember that. And I was like, I don't have a place to put this. That's not me. Rhonda will be mad. But that's pretty awesome. I wish I could do something like that. I'm going to find that picture. I'm going to throw that in the show notes just because, it's pretty awesome.
I made a few different things. We played around with several different things before we actually came to actually doing shirts. I always wanted to do something on the side. Between being a motorhead, I love building things, repurposing things. And we came into the tailgate benches. They actually sat in my house for a good while, and I think one of my Great Danes had made it a bed until it sold. But they went for a good cause. The red one went to a local charity. I'm not going to say the charity online here, but and another one sitting outside of a local towing company.
Really?
But yeah, I was at Buddy's Towing, I believe it is in Easley. They have the blue one, but it was a fun project,
And that was just something to see if you could do it.
Yeah,
just because let's see where it goes.
Thing,
Awesome.
That's why a lot of things I do is just to see if I can do it.
Let's just go see where it goes, man. I love it. I love that attitude, and that's kind of that way. I like to circle back to the fitness end of it. Like you said, man, I got overweight. My dad was benching way more than me.
Yeah.
So again, it's another thing that you weren't the kinesiology major. You were the EMS. You were the emergency medical technology major. So it's another self-taught thing. And for me, that is the most intimidating thing about exercise and fitness. How did you go? I mean, did Dad teach you, or did you kind of have an idea, or was it more self-taught, self-made? And then how did that go also into you said about having like sincere motivational conversations? Are people seeking you out, or is it just things that happen?
Actually, all the above. I've seen the things that he was doing, so it's like, it's not hard to bench press and stuff like that. That's like your bro exercises. So I think it's just kind of ingrained into you. But it was a lot of trial and error. There's a lot of times that you'll do a lift and you're like, "Fuck, that hurt." A week later, I'll come back. And it just comes back to self accountability, just like you say. It's you go from one point saying, I feel like a fat piece of shit, and then once you go and you have accountability in yourself or anything like that, you just start just moving. You feel a lot better. The way I always advocate, you don't have to look like these Instagram models or anything like that. Just get moving, because the people that we see on a daily basis in the back of the trucks is a big motivator. There's people with 20 plus medications. They're 1 foot in the grave at like 48 years old sometimes. And that's the biggest thing that kicked in my head, that I don't want to be like these people that we're transporting on a regular basis. So so it started. I've always been into lifting since I started EMS. Like your back starts hurting and everything like that, lifting the stretchers. So you're like, well, I got to do something about it. But it was just the last 3 or 4 years ago, I got super serious about it. And I'm like, look, I got to have more accountability. I got, you got to watch what you eat and stuff like that. And more people are coming now and asking advice. They're like, what do you do? And everything like that. So I try to offer free content on my website. It's not just about making shirts. I say, it's not just a brand, it's a lifestyle. And I believe in a lot of the health stuff should be free. And to go on accountability, I post a free workout of the day, Monday through Saturday. And the reason why I say it's self-accountability, because I actually physically do the workout and then I post it afterwards. So I'm not just mindlessly posting a workout saying, I hope they can get through this one. But it was actually done. So, it's tweaked, it's changed. And I believe the information should be free. I mean, there's no secret to health. It's just sweat equity. That's the only thing that you have to pay with.
Do you think, you kind of touched on it, my back starts hurting after a little while. Do you think that, along the rescue athlete idea, like that this really should be something? I always joke about our health and wellness and well-being chapter in the EMS textbooks is like 4 paragraphs long. Mm-hmm. And it's like, hey, get enough sleep, don't eat garbage. We know you're going to eat garbage on the truck. Don't eat garbage. Walk around the block. And like it stops there. Like it starts and stops there. Don't commit suicide. Like that's it. Like it's not. It doesn't give you any. It's up to everybody else to give you the tools to do it. Like you talk about motivation, dude. I mean, come on. I think a ton of people who are first responders and military and EMS would probably follow a lot of the same people on social media. Man, you see that Jocko Willink watch every morning, man, at 4:32 in the morning, and a couple days you start feeling bad about yourself. You're like, man, come on, this guy can do it. I can do it too.
Yeah, and he's a huge motivator. Yeah. I've been watching him for a long time now, and his speech about good, you hurt, good, keep going. And he's pretty inspiring, and that's the kind of the level that we want to get up to. It's just because people do need inspiration and motivation. Sometimes it's hard just to kick your own self in the ass. You need someone to be like, hey man, it's all right what you're going through. Especially all of us, as first responders and military, we have demons that we deal with on a daily basis. And if you were to tell grandma what was going on, she might give her a heart attack, or the things that we laugh about, we probably shouldn't, or, the things we talk about or listen to on the way to calls. It's just not 100% serious all the time. But, we just need those people out there that we could rely on. You don't need a whole lot of people. You just need that one person. Just say, hey man, what you're going through sucks, but you got this. Keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do you think? Have you seen responders like mindset change, or like you have maybe not a success story that someone's been like, Phil, you got to help me lose weight or get better? Do you have that? Has that happened, or in the process of happening yet, or have you heard of even if it's through social media or people you work with on the truck or whatever?
Actually, it's go back to the story that there is a guy I keep up with, actually with the real business owners and everything like that. This guy, he struggled with weight, and he woke up one day and said, I need to change. And we made up a shirt. We sent it out to him. It was our discipline shirt. We still have that online. We haven't been pushing that a lot, but Yeah, he vlogs every day. He's self accountable. He's going through major changes, and it's pretty inspiring. So we like to check on him a lot, and it's pretty inspiring to see someone that says, "Hey, I've been this way all my life," or just because of things that they're going through, and they're making the process to actually change that, which is we find that really awesome.
So it shouldn't be an issue of age, disability, ability. It's just that it comes time for a change.
Yeah.
And like I've done it. I've yo-yoed. I mean, I've gone from triathlete guy at 200 pounds, super lean, awesome. Now I'm way back up, and fighting prediabetes and hypertension. And just like every other, I shouldn't say every other, a majority of paramedics and cubicle dwelling people who are not as active as they should be.
Yeah.
So again, in my mind, I know there have been times like I'll get up in the morning, 4 o'clock, I'll walk on that treadmill for an hour and 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. I'll wear a weighted vest and I'll do a little bit of cardio. I'll lift a little weights here and there. I still don't think I have the perfect idea of what to do. That's where you come in. You're going to help me. You just don't know it.
Yep.
Sometimes it'll work for a short period of time. I'll go to the doctor. Doc's like, triglycerides are down. Good job. Keep doing what you're doing. And then something will happen. I get sick, get hurt, and then it kind of, it wanes a little bit. And you find that motivation like, all right, I don't want to have my foot lopped off. I want to be able to chase my kids and play with them. So, all right, back on the treadmill, back lifting weights, get back on the bicycle, do what you got to do. And that's why I love the success you're having, because again, you're a pretty close friend,
yeah.
And that's free advice for me. And again, maybe that intimidation goes down. I just have to I would rather learn how to do it properly from a friend. Maybe it seems less judgmental. I don't know.
Yeah,
but whatever it is, maybe that's weak-minded. I'm making life and death decisions, and I'm like, I don't want people to see me do a deadlift. I don't know.
And that's the biggest thing, is because we're so programmed, because we get called, we come in, we do a job, and we leave. We're the expert. We don't think about it. So, and we hate to suck at something, we hate that mindset. So if you don't know how to do something, the last thing you want to do is see all eyes on you at the gym, and you're screwing up.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And I'll admit to that easily. And that's our weird alpha personalities, type A personalities. So yeah, I agree. So how was the mindset change for you? Was it something as simple as, hey, I want to lose X amount of pounds, or I don't want to wreck my back and not be able to work in a job I love, or anything like that?
It was. I just kind of woke up one day. I felt like garbage. I was still lifting weights. I was relatively strong for my size, but my diet wasn't on key. I tried all kinds of different things, if it fits your macros or keto and all this. At the end of the day, I just felt like garbage. And so I was like, it was actually earlier this year. There's a power lifter I follow, Mark Bell. He had similar issues he was going through, yo-yo diets, don't feel good. And he's like, I'm going to try the carnivore diet. And I was like, carnivore diet, what's that? So I looked into it. It's literally all fucking meat. I mean, as an alpha male, how is it hard not to pass that diet up? So and the biggest thing too is that I got tired of my asthma. It's dealt with it for a long time, and I was actually taking notes of the things that were triggering it. That wasn't, it was more like the things that we ingest. It was really strange. It was like more like all your processed sugars and your dairies and everything like that. So I was like, I'm going to go in this feet first. So since February to now, I've dropped 35 pounds, 4 pant sizes. I increased all my lifts and decreased all my asthma medications just with one diet. And it's easy to follow. And so I'm kind of pushing this on to other people, and my director at my current job right now, he gives me shit all the time. He goes, "Oh, what you eating now? A slab of beef? At least you cooked it right this time." I'm gonna give him props to that because I burnt the shit out of it one day. But yeah, it's definitely, it's just what works for you, because what works for me won't work for you, but it'll work for the next guy. It's just finding and listening to your own body. And that's what biggest thing that helps out. And just sometimes you just got to push your own self.
What would you tell? I mean, I guess what would you tell them? Like, what should we be doing on the fitness and the safety side as responders? Like push pull rotations. Like what? Actually,
that is like your push pull legs routine. I found that to be the best routine out there. You know, sure, I'm in the gym 6 days a week. I do the push pull legs routine. I do the first set is the strength during the first part of the week. Then the last part of the week is the same routine, only as a hypertrophy. It actually builds your body evenly. It actually works both on all your receptors real well. The biggest thing is that it builds your core strength, your leg strength. You know, we do a lot of pushing, we do a lot of pulling. You know, it's the biggest things. It's like your deadlifts and like your squats, building that core. Lower back injuries are usually caused just because of the lack of your core development, and that's a lot of things that could aid into our backs, because knees, backs, and shoulders. Those are one of the first things that go usually before your mind. But you know, it goes down to your diet as well, because you know you got to find out, you got to get comfortable in one side before you can get comfortable in the other. Diets are always changing. You know, it's you get tired of one thing. You know, that's fine. It's just accountability of what you put in your mouth through the day. You know, you want that one cheat meal, make it a cheat meal. Don't make it a cheat day. Don't make it a cheat week, a cheat year. But yeah, it's just the biggest thing is just building your core, building your legs, lifting techniques. You know, just make sure that you've done the lifts correctly, because you know we are doing a form of a deadlift. You know, that bariatric stretcher, the only stretcher out there right now that's not power. You have to rely on actually brute strength to pick those things up. So you know, why not make yourself so stronger, just so you can last in your job? And it's not just your job, it's just your life, because, you know, you mess your knee up, your shoulder up, you miss time with your kids, you miss time with your family, just doing things that you normally would do because you have this injury that you're dealing with.
Absolutely. What about, I mean, what can people do? I mean, I've noticed the daily workouts you've been posting. I probably have to like DM you and be like, "What's this word mean? Can you point me to a video that shows me how to do that?" I mean, typically I'll look at it and I'll copy that, put it in YouTube, and be like, "Oh, okay, I guess that I could probably do that at the house with some dumbbells or whatever, or I can replicate that at the gym." What else should we be doing? I mean, what at the very minimum, what should we be doing? Day one EMT to keep themselves. I think the NEMT safety course has a number that says 1 in 4 EMTs or paramedics will have a career-ending back injury in their first year, and I've actually seen that come through. I've seen that come through from graduates of this school. Yeah. People who've had career-ending back injuries in the first year, and I was like, wow, that the numbers actually work out. So it's scary to begin with, but at the same time, you know, we talk about lifting mechanics and we talk about health and well-being, and you know, then unfortunately you leave school and it's up to you. So,
yeah, it definitely is.
So, like at the very least, what would you recommend?
I would just recommend, honestly, what I found out works the best is a push-pull legs routine. Like I said, it builds you evenly. It builds your functional strength. It builds your core. It'll keep you safe during your daily activities. Because we're a high-paced service now. We do a lot of sitting in the trucks, and then we hurry up and get up, and we're doing all this activity. So, you know, just try to stretch, like, on your breaks, you know, just, like, touch your toes every so often, you know. But that'll definitely help out. If you have a chance to do it from day one, or if you're not day one and you're 15 years in, you can still start.
Start now.
That's why we like to do the free workout of the day. And if you don't understand what it is, we have an open door policy. You know, DM us or anything like that. We'll explain it. We'll point you to a video to explain it a little bit better. Or if your gym or anywhere doesn't have a certain machine or anything like that, we can give you alternative exercises, things you can do at home, body weight exercises. You know, if you're out at the gas station, you know, if you're on a rig somewhere pumping 60 gallons at a time, hey, you can get down and do some push-ups if you wanted to, or, you know. But you just never know.
Just got to find that motivation.
Just got to find that motivation.
Find that motivation and accountability. That's awesome. So what's next? What's next for fuelthemachineapparel.com?
We're just slowly building our brand. Just trying to figure out different strategies. The biggest thing is traction. Just trying to just get seen. We're actually doing we're a vendor and one of the sponsors for a natural bodybuilding show next June, 2020, in Beaufort, South Carolina. So we'll have a table out there. Come and support the competitors, and we're going to be at a lot of other events next year as well. Just a brand awareness, just trying to get out there and just keep on going and see where it takes us.
That's awesome, man. I have a lot of people locally absolutely wear the stuff. I do. You're gracious enough to be one of my sponsors for the Medic Up podcast, and I love it. I'm wearing my Uberlance. I got my Uberlance shirt on right now, and I got my Death Fighter long sleeve over there, and I'm pretty proud to say I might have helped with some creative stuff with the Trample the Weak, Hurdle the Dead.
That one is still popular.
Is it really, man?
That one and the Death Fighter. We've actually sent the Death Fighter all the way almost every state in the United States and Puerto Rico.
Awesome. So I when we were at Swamp Rabbit earlier this year, I grabbed a couple. I bought a couple. I think I bought a T-shirt and gave me a couple beer koozies, and I'm gonna give those away.
Cool.
Since you're going to be on the show here, I'm going to give those away and get that out there to a listener, and I'll probably throw something up, Instagram, Facebook. We'll figure out a way to give it away, and it'll be pretty awesome. I'm pretty sure that the Death Fighter T-shirt locally is pretty much a second uniform for a lot of first responders, police, fire, EMS, a couple, and just healthcare in general. Mm-hmm. So I love that shirt a lot. The Uberlance one, again, depending on the mood, that's pretty much our job sometimes. But I love it, man. Any challenges coming up, or any challenges you face so far, or it seems like it's going really well.
Yeah,
I love seeing it. I love seeing you go far with this. What's besides just kind of like the brand recognition and traction? What are you new designs coming out, or like you always looking for ideas, or?
Yeah, we're always looking for ideas. We have some new ideas that are in store. We actually do have a shirt that's just dropped today. It's our 2019 breast cancer shirt.
This year it's a little more important.
Yeah, it is more important this year because we actually know the person, Sarah Douglas. She's a local paramedic, diagnosed with breast cancer. She's super
solid
awesome
person.
Both her and her husband are first responders, and so we teamed with her. We made a shirt, and now it dropped on our website. All the profits go directly to her. It's not some organization, you wonder where your money went to or anything like that. This time it actually goes directly to her and her family to help her out. So this is kind of our part to just kind of help out, just like we said, it's not just a brand, but it's a lifestyle. We want to be in the public, we want to help people out, especially our own. Because it's a lot different actually helping people that you truly know versus just some stranger that you go out to.
Right.
So it means a lot more. So we have that. We have some other motivational kind of shirts coming. We do like the humor shirts as well. Like you said, the Uberlance shirt, it's easy to wear that just because it just makes you laugh. Pisses some people off, but I
understand.
But we don't really care.
Right, it's the irony of it. Trust me, I get it. It's like I really wanted to figure out. I've always liked that phrase, "trample the weak, hurdle the dead."
Yeah.
But I mean, really, it's kind of hard to put that on an EMS related T-shirt.
It definitely is,
right? But I'm glad it's where it's at, which I think is cool. So I mean, you're obviously a pretty busy dude. Even on your days off, it's T-shirt design and stuff like that. What do you do to decompress in general? And don't say lift weights.
Actually, that's what I do enjoy. I do enjoy lifting weights and everything. It gives me a chance to actually like get my thoughts together for the day. The days I am on an ambulance, I am up by 3:00 in the morning. I'm at the gym by 4:00. You're doing all kinds of business things and everything like that. But on the days off, I enjoy just hanging around. I have 4 dogs that takes up a lot of time, which is a lot of the good time it takes up. Just family activities. But biggest thing is we just like to stay busy. Always talking to people, pushing our brand. Pushing our brand is actually just getting out there and talking to people and just having random conversation with people. It's kind of cool just to get to know your neighbor, and that's decompressing enough because you can find out someone else's story you had no idea about.
It's a lot better when they're not sick and dying in front of you, and
it is.
Yeah, it is a nice change sometimes, right? Well, that's awesome, man. What else? I mean, is there anything besides? I mean, obviously we're gonna have. You're going to have the Sarah Douglas breast cancer awareness shirt. That's going to be a great cause. You got a lot of new stuff coming out. You're always working on stuff. I love it. Anything else you want to kind of promote or something that's exciting you? Or I don't know. Is this going to be the dream? Is this the retirement job? Is this going to be the dream retirement job? Or
I think it's going to be.
Yeah.
Just because there's a lot of avenues right now. Like I said, we have ideas that we want to help out, and we want to keep helping our community. The more money that we could bring in, the more different funds that we can make up to help our own. There's a lot of people that are our own that insurance won't pay for things. Especially if we were able to get to the point of like starting a nonprofit just to help our own out. Help them through the struggles. Maybe make that ramp in front of grandma's house so she can get up into her own home instead of going to a facility. But that's the larger goals on down the line. You always have to give back, and that's what we always we strive to do, is to give back to our community, not just take all the time.
I love it, man. That servant leadership stuff is great. I want to see Granny in one of the local rehabs after her hip replacement. I want to see her in a Trample the Weak, Hurdle the Dead shirt.
Yes.
I want to see her doing her 6-minute walk test at pulmonary rehab. I think that's the way to give back right there, brother.
The best thing at the end of the day is seeing a random person walking down the street wearing your shirt that you have no idea who they are.
Right.
That's the best feeling ever.
I love seeing the tags on social media of people that are not local and seeing how far it's reached. I'm like, yeah, my friend built that shirt. It's cool. Yeah, I know that guy. It's pretty awesome.
I know that shirt guy.
Yeah, I know the shirt. People are like, oh, it's Phil. Phil that did. He lifts weights. He does the shirts. They're like, oh yeah, I know that guy. I'm totally buying that shirt when it comes out. Well, man, I do. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for coming in.
I appreciate you having me here.
I'll definitely have you back as long as you want to be a sponsor. And
oh yeah.
I'll throw every link to everything I can. Sarah's shirt, just the website. And I always have the website on there in our show notes because since you're a sponsor, I appreciate it. I appreciate what you do for me. I hope we can help you out too. It reaches all 8 listeners, and maybe if all 8 of them buy a shirt, you can eat this week. You can take extra shift off or something.
There you go.
Man. So, man, I appreciate it. Thank you for coming in, and absolutely have you back to talk about new stuff or whatever you want, man.
Well, I appreciate you having me here.
I think
great time.
I think you need to become like my personal trainer or something, or
That's
maybe
good.
I'll just try your daily workouts and see where it goes.
Yeah, hit me up. Even if we don't meet up to train, there's FaceTime. Can train you from afar.
You'll have you yelling at me at 4:00 in the morning in my bonus room, running on a treadmill. Awesome. Well, awesome, man. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate everything you're doing for the community and everybody else out there. And
Appreciate it.
you got it, man. Anytime. Thanks. Be safe out there. And, guys, check out the website. Definitely check out Fuel the Machine Apparel.com. Anywhere on the interwebs, it's the same in Instagram. Just search the account. You're going to find Phil. He's his own model. He's out there. He's showing off the muscles. He's showing off the shirts. He's the product himself, man. So get out there. Keep an eye out on our social media. We're going to have the giveaway for the shirt and the beer koozies. I think I got some stickers or something like that. It's going to be awesome. So, guys, thanks for listening, as always. I don't know why you listen, but you do. You keep listening, I'll keep making it, and I'll have cool people like Phil on, and we'll get a little something out of it, all right? So be good, be safe, take care of each other, and we'll see you on the next one.